Hello Fun Army and welcome back to Life and Other Soccer Skills. This week I wanted to do something a little bit different again, mainly because it's that time of year when, I don't know about you, but I start thinking about, oh, maybe I should start trying to save a few extra pennies. Things might be a wee bit tight if I don't. And interestingly, I find the exercise really fun. I know that's weird. I know that's weird, but it's something about, like, you know, I started doing like the Marie Kondo thing a few years ago, and I find that really interesting and fun. It's just like organising. Like, if you told me I had to organise, I'd be like, nah mate, no. But when I choose to organise, I weirdly enjoy it. It just makes me feel better about life. It's almost like just like decluttering your brain. Decluttering your life is decluttering your brain. And some of the other things I like to do alongside the Marie Kondoing is looking for either like things I already own. So the other thing I really like doing, which I guess sort of comes out of Marie Kondoing, but I think I was sort of doing anyway, is when you could like find things that you already own to repurpose in a different way, or you can find a way to hack something. And again, over the last, I've lost track of the years thanks to COVID. I no longer know how many years have passed. How many years have passed? But certainly over the last X amount of years, I've started moving towards using just easy household replacements for things. So like, for example, for cleaning products, I use vinegar, literally just chip shop style vinegar that I buy in a Gurt container, and then I decant it into a spray bottle. That's my bathroom cleaner. I use lemon juice for the kitchen. So literally single ingredient, full of no crap. Full of no crap? Not full of crap. And that's an example of where I then make a massive saving, not buying expensive cleaning products, and I'm using something more natural, and it works, and you're not polluting the oceans by sending all kinds of crap down the plug hole. So another one of these that I picked up a few years ago is making my own deodorant, which sounds like a Gurt faff. And I have experimented with lots of different things where I'm like, oh, maybe I could make this, and it's not gone well. I, you know, put it in the same bracket as me attempting to cook things that are more than one or two ingredients, or where you have to really pay attention to the recipe. But this one, actually, I wasn't sure about, and actually it turns out it's quite straightforward. So I thought today I would take you through that method, so you can see how it works and see if it's something you want to do for yourself. I've actually talked to a lot of people about it, because everyone, you know, is always looking for better deodorant alternatives, and it is very difficult to find what you want out there, especially if you're trying to remove and reduce aluminium, or any of the other crazy things that they put in deodorants. I guess it's slightly different if you like the spray-on kind. This is more in reference to like a roll-on situation. But either way, putting weird shit into your armpits ain't good. And the whole antiperspirant part of deodorant is the bit that's really bad, because, I mean, fair play to the antiperspirants out there. Some of them actually do a really good job at stopping the sweat from happening. But unfortunately, it's a natural thing that your body's supposed to do, and things can get blocked up. It can lead to cancerous situations, which nobody wants. You're also absorbing that stuff into your bloodstream because it's going onto your skin and being absorbed through. A whole lot of stuff that just ain't good. So I looked for a natural solution, and being me, went for whatever I could find that had the least amount of ingredients needed. So I literally just use beeswax pellets and coconut oil. And then I add some essential oils just to give it a little bit of a fresh scent, basically. I should add the proviso here that if you are going to go, even if you're not making your own deodorant, if you are going to a natural deodorant, you need to go through the deodorant detoxification phase. which may or may not be intrusive to your life depending on how much you sweat on a general basis. You basically just have to go through probably 2 to 3 months of not using your old deodorant, and you can start using the new one, but you'll probably find yourself going like, oh, you're not working. Like, you basically have to go through 2 or 3 months of your armpits just getting used to what it's like when they are not being attacked by suppressants, basically. So you can find that your sweaty odour is a bit weird or a bit different to normal, or it's maybe, I guess, more pungent and noticeable, or you actually just feel quite BO-y. It wasn't too bad for me. I sweat a lot, so I actually just don't think it was much different to normal, other than I actually have quite sensitive skin, so where I had been using quite a strong antiperspirant previously, I'd actually started getting just like a rash from the fact that it was so harsh on my skin. So mostly that just stopped. But yeah, otherwise I didn't really have a huge amount of difference. And I did it during the summer, which was probably not the best plan. So I was very conscious of it, you know, giving myself a good sniff. But if you try doing it in the winter, maybe see how that goes for you. And as I say, you can still be using the new product. The main thing is to just stop using the old product and just give yourself a couple of months to kind of get back to whatever your neutral is. And that's the point at which you can test what you want to do. So if you find you enjoy making your own deodorant, then you can go down that route and experiment with different scents and stuff. Or at that point you could be looking for one of the natural deodorants that are out there on the market. There have actually been a lot more come out since I switched, but I got used to making my own and it literally costs nothing. As you'll see from the demonstration, I literally just bought little canisters from Amazon. At the time you could only get them in a plastic, so that's the only downside for me, is that they are plastic, but I do reuse them every time. So hopefully at some point someone will make like an easy deodorant thing that's made of some other material that's not hazardous, but that's what I've got for now. And then you literally just have the coconut oil, you have beeswax pellets. Now, again, soy wax wasn't really a thing when I started doing this, and I'm also not really clear on soy wax in relation to the body, whereas beeswax is actually very good for your body. It certainly has some, I'm gonna get all the antis wrong. I'm fairly sure it's antifungal. And it's another anti that's not coming to me right now. Hold on. Anti-inflammatory. That's the one I was looking for. It's also a humectant. So yeah, it is very good for you. I do want to do a bit of research though on whether I could swap to soy, but I'm not sure about the dynamic, and again, because my skin is so sensitive, I don't really want to touch that until I've done my research. But for now, the main point is to show you the method, show you how easy it is, and actually how fun it can be, because you get to melt things. Oh, in a secret here, I haven't been as bad recently, but I don't know, I have this weird thing with candles where I just want to touch them and I want to play with the wax. I don't know if it's like a throwback from school where you'll just, like, you know, dip your finger in the wax and start making little wax figures and whatnot, or just, you know, going, look how creepy my hands are. And I did for a while get really obsessed with, and I think I've probably stopped doing this because actually it's not on the table as much anymore. You know, where like you'd go to a restaurant or a cafe and they just have like a bowl of sugar cubes, and I don't use sugar cubes in anything. It's not something I would add to a drink, so I would get really obsessed with just making little sugar cube structures, and for some reason I kept wanting to put them in the candles, and oh, I'm a destructive little pyromaniac, really. I say little, this is probably during my 20s. Anyway, that's enough waffle and background. I'm now going to hand you over to me to explain the method. So, first thing is first, double boiler situation. So just got some water a-brewing underneath there. Then we have Beeswax Pellets. I have got more than this, got a second packet. I just buy these off of the Amazon. I did used to have like a specific recipe with the proportions. Then I realised I couldn't be bothered with that anymore. So I just kind of crack it in and give it a whirl, to be honest. The only thing I can never... The only thing I can never seem to get right is making enough on the first round to fill all of the little containers I've got. Occasionally I might win and get it about right, but yeah, quite often I have to make a mini second batch to just kind of fill up this final bits. So, a few more of these in. So I put the beeswax in first because that takes longer to melt. Melting, I'm melting! Yeah, melting quite slowly, as you can see. That water's now boiling. I'm just going to turn it down to more of a simmer. Obviously you need to keep it quite hot as you go to keep the wax melted, because it cools pretty quickly, which sometimes causes issues. So whilst that's melting, next up we have coconut oil. So this becomes liquid a lot more quickly. And again, I'm just kind of guessing at these proportions, but I tend to put in more coconut oil than I do beeswax. Or rather, in terms of when you're looking at the solid, there's more of the solid coconut oil than there is of the solid beeswax pellets. So, just whack all of that in there. There you go, just rub the excess onto your hands. Coconut oil, very good for the skin. It's melting quite nicely now. Looks a little bit like butter right now. That's because I had some quite yellow beeswax pellets. Bubble, 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 bubble. This is the bit where I get a bit impatient. I'm literally watching things melt. So I do actually have 10 of these little containers. Again, bought them off of the Amazon. The other one's currently still in use. That's the one I'm just finishing off right now. So yeah, depending on where I am in that last one when I make this, I either fill up the 9 or I can actually then just top up the 10. Still melting. I'm so impatient, and you're always waiting on this last little bit. Ooh, steam. Totally steamed up the camera. There we go. Nearly there. Right. It actually sounds like a cauldron right now because I had to turn the heat back up, but we're nearly there. So next up, I'm popping in some essential oils. So tea tree is the first one, and this is just really nice for kind of keeping everything fresh and clean. It has that nice sort of cleanliness. It has a nice clean scent. So again, probably could count your drops here. I don't normally do that. You kind of want 20 or so. And then after that, it's whatever flavour you like, and I quite like citrus flavours, so I've got lime essential oil, which apparently I can't open right now. There we go. Okay, and again, similar amount of drops. Just whack that in. So here comes the tricky bit, because this is all about timing, because what's in there I'm about to pop in here, which is one of those little containers you have for putting water in your iron, which I literally never do. So yeah, because obviously I got one of these, but they're quite thin, so it's quite a small target to hit. And ideally you don't want to spill over. I can't promise I won't do that, especially under pressure. So yeah, so we're going to take a little bit at a time, because obviously then it hardens again quite quickly once it's no longer over the hot water. So we pop a little bit in here and then start to pour. Go, go, go! Oh. Yeah, leaning over the saucepan, getting a nice steam on my arm. Don't burn yourself. That steam is hot. Maybe I'm not just seeing my arm here. Oh, spillage! See, it's the pressure. No. No. Oh, this is good. I might have fairly nailed the amount this time. Oh, it's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. Well, you know, a bank holiday miracle. Whoa, getting a bit of a facial from this steam now as well. Here we go. Final 3. Boom. Boom. Oh, last little bit. Oh, turn that off so I don't die of steaming. Boom, and we're done. Woohoo! And a tiny little bit left. Oh, tiny little bit left in here. Oh god, looks like a urine sample. Ew. So I'm actually going to let that harden as well, and you can use that as like a little sort of mini pellet deodorant. So nothing goes to waste. This will all start to harden up, and there you go. That is making your own deodorant. So there we go. That is how it's done. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're going to try it. If you do, leave me a little note below and let me know how you got on. Also, how much you enjoyed watching the solidification process. You can actually speed that up by, once it's sort of fairly stable, popping them in the fridge. And I actually keep mine in the fridge the whole time until I'm ready to use it. That way, if it does get a bit warm one day, your deodorant doesn't melt. But I will also add, I have the hottest flat in the world. Anyone who knows me personally will attest to this. Like, it can be, I don't know, 23, 24 degrees outside, and it will be like 30, 31 degrees in here. And still, I can have the one that I'm using just in my bedroom, go to use it. Like, it might be a little bit softer, I guess, than at this time of year, but I've never had one melt on me. It's something about the combination of it going together and becoming solid that actually it doesn't just melt into a liquid. So that was something I was worried about actually, but no, that doesn't happen. So but yeah, otherwise I just keep them in the fridge the whole time, and then I take one out as I need it, use that up, then put it back in the cupboard ready for when I'm doing my next round of making the deodorant from scratch. So there you go. If you'd like to see more of Rosie's crazy money-saving but fun random things that she does, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!